G'day and welcome to another issue of the Aussie Ideas Man and another candid look at what Aptera Motors are doing with their vehicle dynamics testings this time.
Today we're testing the vehicle dynamics and handling. We're comparing our model against what we can measure in real life. The primary things we're trying to understand today are the pitch gradient and the roll gradient of the car. So how does it respond when you step on the brakes or when you accelerate? And how does it respond when you're going through a corner experiencing lateral G's?
So as you can tell, beta is stripped down to the bare essential components. This was done so that we could test exactly what we wanted to test with the vehicle dynamics properties.
Yes, the fanboys keep saying that all they need is this bar jar buggy to test the vehicle dynamics properties, but I think it's just a cheap way out of trying to keep the charade going. Vehicle dynamics, like the aerodynamics, when you cut it back to a bar jar boat, you lose all the aerodynamic properties, which are important when you're actually testing performance.
Compared to alphas, where they had all of the cosmetic features as a rear vehicle would have.
We've done a multitude of tests, including some cornering tests, going from slower to faster and faster speeds. Aptera's been handling great. We're collecting lots of data, and we're going to be able to correlate that to our simulation. And that way, we can really move forward very quickly with making tweaks in the computer, and then we can apply them in real life and end up with a much better vehicle much faster.
The testing for beta is so important because it helps us to validate our model that we've been analyzing it in atoms for months now, yet we've not been able to put it into practice and actually feel the car and what the simulation says it should do versus what it's actually doing. So this is extremely important for us because we have this model that we're building our next vehicle off of as well, and we need to validate it to ensure that it's actually performing like we expect it to.
So for acceleration, we are looking at the max power output of our vehicle. And then with braking, we are looking at how much the vehicle dives forward, so we can tune it for passenger comfort. And then with the high-speed stability, we want to make sure that at high speeds our vehicle is as safe as possible. So with the ISO double lane change, that is also a safety test to make sure that whatever emergency maneuvers are necessary, the vehicle can handle.
We've seen massive improvements in our suspension and how the vehicle handles so far. The one thing we've noticed already is that the car is actually more stable in lateral corners, yet it has higher lateral grip than the previous cars had as well. So making step change improvements on the suspension is great.
That's their little 3-minute video completed. And it's been fun slipping in some comments, bit of merriment and mirth for me. Not to be taken too seriously, of course, but I thought it wouldn't end there, because in this particular video in the comments, there's one comment I want to read out, and I've shown a bit of the comments before and after, but the important one is this one right here from Aptera Motors 2 weeks ago, and it's more like 3 weeks ago. Getting close. Hi Aussie Ideas Man, we're glad that we're providing you with some content to make. Please let us know if the Aptera team can clarify anything for you. Well, I haven't scrolled on, but I've added it to this review, and I asked a few questions, the most notable being about the skin cooling, and in almost 3 weeks I've had no response. Now, of course, my response to them was to tell them that I believe it was a bit of a stunt, and it turns out it probably is. The time that they've taken so far tells me that they weren't serious. They're just making themselves look good. Anyway, what they have done in the interim is make a kid's cartoon. Yep, another kid's cartoon where some bird talks and 3 cars talk and little kids narrate this amazing little story like the little train that could, except it's this tricycle, this land dolphin. Well, it's a joke. They haven't come along with any updates. They haven't come along with any data. They've gone back to cartoons, which they've used a few times. I don't know how the disciples can stand it. I don't know how those fanboys can swallow such guff. Things like when they put the radiator on this trike, all the fanboys said, well, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Unbelievable. So it's time people who, have money in their pockets to spend actually seriously thought about what they're putting their money into. This is why I do this. Well, it's not really. I've given the reasons why I do this. They're just a lovely target for material. That's all it is. People can put their money wherever they want, but they just need some balanced opinion. And while I'm practicing to do this stuff and really am needing a lot more practice than I am getting, but while I'm doing it, I may as well give a bit of a balance to what's going on or what might be going on. I don't make a call. I just say, here's the risk, here's the likelihood, and that's about it. Well, that's enough of me now. Bye for now, and stay safe.